known, but Charlotte's hit 100 homicides, 99 and 100 happening within 12 hours. Is there anything to say to the community? I know this is, people are shaken up by this, and they have been for months.
I think people are shooken up by just one homicide. I'm shooken up by just one homicide. One homicide's too many. The fact that we've reached triple digits, I mean, each individual person, they're people, they're not a percentage. So I think the message here is that a lot of these homicides are happening as a result of verbal altercations escalating to violence, okay? So, and that violence leading to a homicide. So think about what's going on. Don't automatically jump to violence. That should be a very, very last resort. Pull that friend away, like I said a minute ago, pull that friend away who is about to make a poor decision. He'll thank you for it later. It's no lie. We've said it several times. Our enforcement's up. Our engagement's up. Our response to calls for service are down. Our detectives are working day after day and arresting people. Community's help with this. Circling back, though, to these past 2 homicides. We need the community's help for this. Have them call 911 with any information they've got. And again, there's always Crime Stoppers. Information can be left anonymously, and there's a cash reward of up to $5,000 leading to an arrest and a homicide. Plus, you help that family, the victim's family, get that one step closer to closure.
And then yesterday we reported that Chief Putney is just determining if they're going to, department's going to stay with the electronic monitoring program. I know they were going through that. Is there anything we can say on that? That's a decision being made soon. Is there a timeline, or is that just being considered?
I'm not really privy to information. It's kind of outside of my lane. Be happy to.
I can talk quickly about that page. Yeah, it's well documented. He's spoken with a number of outlets about his desire to reassess the electronic monitoring program and our involvement in it. You have currently 456 people that are being monitored electronically, pre-trial monitored, 29 of whom are homicide suspects. Chief is doing a reassessment to determine whether this is an investment that we could keep investing in, resources, staffing, and funding, and he'll come to a conclusion that will allow the community to remain a safe community. This is an opportunity for him to reassess and find out if we're getting as much as we should and could from the system. I think one of the overarching issues for the Chief of Police is his concern with having 29 homicide victims that are back out in our community, possibly for upwards of a year and a half, 2 years. So it's a concern for the Chief. It should be a concern for the community.
What happens if the department does pull out of the program? Is that?
I'm not going to get into the hypotheticals. I think that there'll be an opportunity to have discussions with people that are a lot smarter than I am. They'll figure this out and figure out a way to keep our community a safe community. But something's clearly got to give.
Thank you.
One more question. Just the homicide in East Charlotte, the arcade, adult arcade. Major Butler, I think, was out there that morning. He spoke a little bit to this, but just what extra challenges is something places like those kind of tend to you guys? I know it's 24, but usually they're 24/7. Usually they have cash on hand. I guess what extra challenges do some of those places kind of present for you guys to patrol and keep them on the up and up and things like that?
Well, yeah, and that's not lost on any of us. For those who've been covering the market for a while, I guess you could say that these arcades now could be the artists previously known as sweepstakes parlors, right? I mean, really not much of a difference outside of the name. And we've been on the record for years talking about the challenge that it is from an enforcement perspective and getting our arms around that, because the purveyors of these establishments frequently will make the adjustments necessary to find themselves compliant with statute. I will say that we are in the process of having some pretty direct conversations with the purveyors of these organizations, working with our legal folks to determine if there is any daylight that we have there from an enforcement perspective to start to take some of that enforcement action and keep the community a safe community.
I was going to add, is that taking it as far as maybe shutting them down? I guess would be the most extreme. Is that something you guys would be able to do? Is that state level? How does that kind of work? Try to get that conversation started and things like that.
Yeah, I think that's going to have to be a collective effort, but I think the first step in that effort is going to be determined just how much legal latitude we have in that regard. Again, not to belabor it, but it's been a challenge just from a legal standpoint in identifying an opportunity to find that they're violating some of the rules of the current statute, and that's where the smart legal people will get involved and determine what it is that we can do from a legal perspective. Yeah, anybody else? All right, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Telemundo, if you wanted to hang back, will make Officer Jimenez available. And I also believe that Officer Page has got something he wants to distribute to everyone with regard to those preventive tips.